I'm excited because Step Out is back. For those that don't know, Step Out is a series of interviews and motivational segments designed to bring the best out of you. Therefore, we have designed 4 main programs for you. And the first one, which is the flagship program, Step Out with Oscar Bimpong. Step Out is Oscar Bimpong is where we interview experts, consultants, and talented people. The idea is to help shape your vision. The second one is Step Out SME Focus. This is where we interview business owners and showcase their products and services. Then the third one is Step Out Youth Impact Zone. This is where we interview young people succeeding against all odds. Then the last one is Step Out Authors Corner. This is where we give a platform to authors for them to share what their book is all about. So I can tell you there is an exciting journey ahead. And I'm so excited. And I want you to be part of this journey. Therefore, I will urge you to like our Facebook page and YouTube, dubbed T2i TV. Also, Step Out will be coming live every Wednesday and Saturday, 8 p.m. UK time. For further inquiries and for you to be part of this show, please check the task bar for more information. Stay blessed and please don't forget to share. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is AJ Wills, the CEO of AJ Wills Media, and today we're going to talk about on the topic, your brand, your competitive advantage, personal branding, with one of my mentors, Mr. Oscar Bimpong, who has mentored me this far and has helped me to become who I am today. Has really played a very vital role in my growing as a career person and a branding person. So today is all about personal branding. So we'll be talking to him so that he throws more light on the topic of personal branding and why it's important for us to develop a very good brand and why it's very necessary that we develop that brand in order to understand what we have and what we can give in order to draw more people or businesses to us. So today we're not going to talk much because our boss is already in, so we'll go straight to talking to him and having him talk about personal branding so that we get an in-depth understanding about personal branding and his journey through his branding life as having to be this great man that he is today. He had to brand himself to be where he is today, and he has tons of experiences to share to us so that we can understand what it is to be or what it is to have a good brand. So without much to say, I'll say let's welcome my boss, Mr. Oscar Bimpong, so that we can now have him share his experience with us in terms of personal branding. Thank you all for joining us. Welcome, my boss.
I should say welcome, my director. How are you doing, sir?
By God's grace and yourself.
I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed, and you are really doing a good job. And I think today, you initially wanted me to come, and we're going to discuss personal branding on your platform, AJ Wills Media.
Yes.
But you know, IT sometimes can really be very challenging and difficult. So
very true.
I think we have to apologize for everybody that was waiting on AJ Wills Media, because we have been really having some difficult challenges. That is why we had to switch to T2i TV so that at least we show up. So please, our apologies. So I'm happy for your guest for us to have this discussion.
Yes, thank you very much for accepting to join us on this journey of your brand, your competitive advantage, and especially on the topic of personal branding. First of all, I've known you for some time now. You've been a force to reckon with when it comes to different aspects of life. You've been a motivational speaker, a transformational speaker, an author, a coach, a mentor, and all those things. But I know that all those things coming together forms a certain brand that you've had. So first of all, we always hear about personal branding, personal branding. Can you please enlighten us about what exactly personal brand is all about?
Thank you, AJ Wills. And to be honest, I want to say this before we continue. I'm really happy I'm really happy that the man that you have become in terms of your vision.
Thank you.
And I'm so proud of you. Actually, I knew where you started and where you are now, and I can tell you that some people say the sky is the limit, but I always tell people that beyond the skies there is the moon. That's why the scientists want to go to the moon, because they go beyond the skies. So the sky is your stepping stone for more exploitation. So I want you to continue.
Thank you, sir.
I want you to continue to push and continue to really do what you are doing, because I can tell you the light is not even at the end of the tunnel. The light is with you at this moment. So continue to shine. Now, I am actually, you're welcome. You wanted me to be part of this show to really discuss how I've been able to build my brand against all odds. I know brand is a continuous process, and there is no way you can say, well, I've finished building my brand. It is a journey. And I think so far, so good. I can be in a position to discuss how far I have come with my brand, so that others too can really have a fair understanding if they want to build a brand, or they are already building a brand, or although they already have an established brand, because they say knowledge is not in one person's head. We can all share knowledge at all times. So if you ask me what is personal branding, what personal branding is all about is the key word is personal. So it means that it is about you. So it is about who you are, what you stand for, the values you embrace, and how you express and communicate those values to the world. So these are the key words. The key words is who you are. So the question is who you are. That is your identity. Then what you stand for. What do you stand for? Now, there are some women that are fighting for the rights of children. There are women that are fighting against female circumcision. It is what they stand for, right? Then the values you embrace. What value do you bring to the market? What value do you impact on others? That is value. Then how do you communicate this to people for them to understand all these things that I've mentioned? So basically, that is what personal branding is all about.
Wow, that is so in-depth, because as you said, the word is personal, and personal means something that you possess, something that you are capable of delivering, something that you know who you are. That entails your person, that helps grow, or people know what your brand is. That is so insightful, Mr. Oscar. Thank you so much. But the question still lingers, that why is personal branding so important to our generation?
It's very, very important because you see, gone are the days when you look at the Industrial Revolution, when they manufacture something, they didn't really care about whether you like it or not. They just do mass production, put it in the market, and it's whether you buy it or you don't. They didn't really care about the customer. So now the world has really moved to a stage that whatever you put out there, there have to be a need for it. If there is no need, then nobody will buy it. So the dynamic change. So one importance of personal branding is that it's your identity mark. AJ, do you know that when you see an apple, nobody tells you this is an apple. When you see Samsung, nobody tells you this is an Samsung. When you see an Adidas boot or Nike boot, nobody tells you. You just know straight away. It's their identity. Their identity stands out. The question is, if you are starting a business or you are starting your vision, what is your identity mark? What makes you stand out? Then the second one is the perception you create out there. That is, how do people see you? How do people perceive what you are bringing? The Oscar Bimpong, how do people perceive you from the outside without even meeting you? In their minds, who is this guy? But from what I'm presenting to them, they can say that, no, this guy is this way. So, for example, because I've been preaching mindset, I think people will be sitting in their home, they will say, this guy has got a strong mindset without even meeting me.
Yes.
That is the perception. Then also, another important is the message. It is your message to the world. Huh? You see, in this world, everybody should carry a message.
Yes, sir.
And let me use Jesus Christ as an example. Jesus Christ is somebody that carried the message of God. It's very simple. You never saw Jesus Christ carrying any other message than God. Now let's look at AJ Wills. What message is AJ Wills carrying? AJ Wills is carrying what? He's a brand enthusiast.
Branding.
You are carrying the message of branding, and that you see in this life, you need to have a message. If you don't have a message, you don't have a story to tell anybody. So if you are watching, if you are watching us, I want just to ask you, what message are you carrying? Then also, it is a tool to communicate to the world what you have to offer. What do you have to offer? What can you get?
Yes, sir.
What can you give to people in return of whether money or equity, whatever it is? What is that thing that you are communicating to the world? And also, personal branding helps you to build a community.
Yes.
And that is very powerful. Do you know that now the followers of a single person on social media is more than the population of a country?
Oh, yes. People have following more than 13 countries. That's very true.
Too many. And sometimes I wonder, when you look at the likes of of Obama, the likes of like Puff Daddy, the likes of like all these celebrities, some of them, they are following
the big one
country. So these days,
that's very true,
those days, you don't need to be a president of a country. You can be a president because of your brand.
Wow, that's powerful. You can be president because of your brand.
Yes.
Wow.
And also, it is a strategic tool to sell your products and services. Your personal brand is a strategy to sell your product and services. And also, it is your gateway to breaking boundaries to get global. You see, these days, because of social media, you cannot afford to be a local champion.
At all.
You have to be a global champion because it's so easy to do.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Now, when you go to LinkedIn, I have got almost 10K views. It's left with about 100 people, and I've got 10K followers. 10K. Sorry, 10K followers. Now, and these people are from all walks of life, from India, Pakistan, Ghana, Nigeria, United States. What am I trying to tell you? You cannot afford to say, I'm building a brand for only Ghana, I'm building a brand for only Nigeria, I'm bringing a brand for only United Kingdom. No, with social media now, the world is at your feet. So you don't need to limit yourself. And the last one I want to talk about is, it is your opportunity to leave a legacy in this world. That AJ Wills, when you are no more today, how do you want to be remembered for?
I think I want to be known for one of the brand guys who ever lived, who transformed brands, gave brands value, and gave people the value for what they paid for.
Interesting. And I can tell you, you are on that way to getting to that level.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. At least, thank you. You've been consistently there, pointing me when I'm doing the wrong thing, pointing me to the right paths. At least with those coachings, I know I'm going to get there, and I will not make you guys feel proud of me. You're going to be proud of me.
But AJ, there is one thing I can tell you. You see, the difference between you and other young people is that you've got the humility to learn. Some young people don't have the humility to learn. Let me give you a typical example. Today, somebody came to my inbox, right? And the person just say hi. I said hi. Then he started writing, are you the one who wrote this book, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, please, who are you? I cannot chat with a stranger. You just have to introduce yourself. And this guy introduced himself. And to cut a whole story short, I was trying to let the guy understand certain things. And the guy was not ready. Why? Because he didn't have the humility. You see, it's about, you see, if you need something from somebody or you want to learn from somebody, for the only thing you can get something that somebody is holding, most of the time it's not about fighting, but it's about having the humility to get
being humble.
Because the moment you start fighting, that person will fight back and probably will not get it back.
Yes, that's true.
And I think for you, you are an epitome of a young guy who is humble. That is why everything you want me to do for you, if it's within my capacity or I can get somebody that can help you, I'm just ready to do it for you. And I can assure you that, because I think, and do you know what? Let me tell you this. I am going to start interviews on young people, right? Between the ages of like 14 or 12, 30 years, about the Step Out Youth Impact Zone, right? I want to make it clear on camera. I'm going to give you that opportunity to host that part of the show, right?
Whoa. Very grateful, sir. I can't wait. Actually, thank you for the opportunity.
Let's go into our discussion.
All right, sir. Wow. I don't even know what to say, but thank you so much for believing in me. If we all had people who believed in us, I'm sure we'll get far. And even though people might believe in you, it also dawns on you, the individual, to be humble enough to learn. Thank you so much for that, sir. Okay, so now if we move on. Now, everybody has a vision. At the same time, we have a brand. What is the relationship between your brand, your personal brand, and your vision?
Yes, so it is very tricky. You see, sometimes individuals stand alone and their brand or their vision also stands alone. But I think there have to be a correlation between the two, right? So, if, like, for example, AJ Wills is a brand enthusiast, then I must think that AJ Wills Media as a brand and AJ Wills as a person, there has to be a certain relationship between the two. Now, let me give you an example.
That's very true.
So if I go to AJ Wills' website, and for example, AJ Wills' website says, we value time. So that is AJ Wills' what? Brand. Says value time. Now, AJ Wills as an individual who manages AJ Wills Media, I should also think that if your brand says it values time, then AJ Wills as a person must also value time.
Equal, simple and short.
But if the case is that AJ Wills as an individual does not value time, but the brand is saying it values time, then there's no relationship between the two.
At all, so yes, there's a disconnect.
A strong relationship between the personal brand and the vision that you carry. You cannot stand in absentia of the other. The two must marry together They must be in bed together, if you care to know.
Yes. That's
They must
powerful.
be in bed together. And I think that is basically the relationship that should stand between the personal brand and your vision.
So okay, so if I'm to get it clear and simple, you must not differentiate your personal brand from your vision or from whatever you do. Let's say it's a company. If it's a company that you're running and your personal brand, there must be a certain correlation between the two that represent both you, the individual, and the company as well, because you are the one managing the company. So your values are still going to run through the company, and the values of the company are still going to run through you, if I'm right.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. That's why I'm saying the two must be in bed. The two must marry. You know, they must drink from the same cup.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
This one does not drink from that cup, and that one does not drink from that cup. So your vision values time, but you yourself don't value time. So you go to functions, you start your program late, and you are also telling people that you value time. No, that is rather a divorce, not a marriage.
It's truly a divorce. All right. I know that when it comes to branding, there are tips that we need to give to people who want to build their brands in order to perfect their brands to that level that they want it to get to. So first of all, what are some of the tips that you give to people who are building their personal brands?
So I think I'm going to go brief with this, and because we've got a bit of more things to share. So first one, you need to figure out and communicate it in the market. You need to figure out who you are and communicate it in the marketplace. So you need to identify who you are. That is your aspirations, the things you love doing, your passion. These things must come first. AJ, you are not a brand enthusiast just because you want to be a brand enthusiast. You are just passionate about brand. Because AJ Reels, your flyers, your logos, your designs, they are exceptional. It's like it's your passion.
Thank you, sir.
So you are not doing what you are doing just because you want to do it. The aim is to make money, but I can see that level of passion behind your brand. And that is who you are.
Thank you, sir.
Number two, determine what you want to be known for. Determine what you want to be known for. You see, nowadays, when I'm walking on the streets of Accra, somebody would tap my shoulder and say, "Hey, mindset revolution." Yes, that is what I'm known for. Yes, they have to be something that is really connected to you. You see, nowadays, now, if you Google mindset revolution, there can be so many things on the internet, but Oscar Bimpong will pick up.
Definitely, because you've made it yours.
That's what I'm known for. So the question is, if you are watching us, what do you want to be known for? Also, you need to define your audience. Which people are your target market? Which people are your target market? You need to define your audience. So for me, my mindset revolution is for everyone, but my focus is on Africa, because I believe Africa are the people that I believe if our mindset changes, everything will change.
Will change.
Yes. Then number four, you need to research your desired industry and follow the experts and the successful ones. So which industry do you want to be in? Do you want to be in the personal development industry as a motivational speaker? Do you want to be a finance expert in the personal development space? Do you want to be a career counseling person? You have to define the industry and also follow the experts. I follow Les Brown. I follow Robert Kiyosaki. I follow Robbins. I follow you just name them. John Maxwell. Yes. So Bob Proctor. I follow all these people. Why? Because they are in my industry. They are out there and they are in the capacity for them to really help me. to succeed, because I don't need to reinvent the wheel. The standards has already been set. All I have to do is to follow it, but to bring a strategic twist to them. So, for example, their focus is not on the African market, but my focus is on the African market.
Yes.
And this is the strategy you put on what you want to do. Then also embrace network. Embrace network. Let me tell you this, AJ Rules. I have got a serious social capital. What I mean by social capital is that I know people. Do you know why I know people? Because I have done radio and TV the last 10 years. I have interviewed countless of people. All those people are part of my social capital. I have spoken on different platforms over the years. And I can tell you, there are certain things I don't struggle to get because of my social capital. You need to build a serious network when building a personal brand. Because your brand is not about you. It's about people.
That's true.
And the question is, which people are you connected to? You need to define that, and you'll be in business. Then the last but one is ask for recommendations. So ask for people to recommend you. So for example, sometimes I write something good about you, isn't it?
Oh, very, very.
It's a form of
that's what you do.
It's a form of recommendation. So you need to get people to recommend you. Those that believe in your vision, those that have used your product and services, they need to recommend you. And also you need to grow an online presence. It's very, very, very key and powerful. Now, let me tell you this. You take this from me and somebody can write this thing down. I always say this. I always say this, that if you are offline, it means that you are connected to your community. But if you are online, you are connected to the world.
Powerful.
So would you like to be connected to your community, or do you want to be connected to the world?
Well,
the world. So an online presence is very critical to your success in building what? Your personal brand.
Wow. You've said so much, say so much that I think anyone doing the watching really take it upon themselves to really take note of everything, because everything you've said really resonates and makes serious sense. Because sometimes you just don't need the knowledge, you need to use the logic. When you put logic into this, you see that it really connects and makes you understand what you are talking about. Now, we all have, now let's say I've built my brand, I've had my personal brand, and I have my brand I'm going on. Does my brand and my appearance need to match? Is there any need for my appearance? Is the appearance important with my personal brand?
Appearance is very, very important in terms of your personal brand. And you see, there is one thing that we need to know, that for you to print the image of your brand in the minds of people, your appearance is very important. Now,
yes,
your appearance creates a competitive advantage, and it helps you to stand out in the marketplace. Now, let me give you a typical example of people that their appearance is a brand of itself. Now, let's look at Kenneth Kaunda. I think Kenneth Kaunda from Zambia, yeah?
Zambia, yeah, Zambia.
This man, I was watching a documentary where some shop is selling his political suit that he wears, because he had a unique way of wearing a particular style of political suit, where you have a handkerchief in his neck.
Political suit, yes.
Yes, you have a handkerchief in his neck, and you have a handkerchief in his pocket, and it's a serious brand. Anytime you see Kenneth Kaunda, that is what he wears. Now let us look at Akufo-Addo. You can never see Akufo-Addo without a suit and a handkerchief here. The day you don't see the handkerchief there, it means that is not Akufo-Addo.
That's true. Yes.
And the handkerchief should be white.
That's true.
That is his brand identity. It is his brand identity.
Always, yes.
People don't see it that way, but it's a brand identity. Now, let's look at Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook. He has that casual appeal, that casual approach.
Yes.
That is his brand. The only time I saw him in suit is when there was a lawsuit that he has to go and answer some questions at the Senate. That was the only time I saw him in suit.
Yeah.
Let's give, for example, somebody like Bill Gates.
Yes.
Bill Gates will wear a shirt and put a pullover on top. That is his brand identity. Then another one that some people don't really see. You know Pastor Chris of Christ Embassy, yeah? With his Jerry curls, right?
Yes.
Now you could see.
Yes, Jerry.
Almost all his pastors are also Jerry curls. They have the Jerry curls, right?
Yes, they also having Jerry curls.
That is their brand. That is their brand identity. Pastor Mensa Otabil, tell me about it. When you see Pastor Mensa Otabil, you nobody. The day you see him in suit, you watch again and see, is that him?
He's always in traditional wear.
He's always in traditional wear. So your brand identity is your uniqueness that will help you to stand out in the marketplace. And that is a powerful strategy that leads to a competitive advantage.
Thank you so much. Powerful strategy that leads to your competitive advantage, which is appearance. So that's very powerful, Mr. Oscar. Thank you so much. So now I want to ask the question, what is that one thing that is so important in building a personal brand?
So that one thing that is so much important in building a personal brand, that this one is my own opinion. Maybe other people might have their own opinion, but this is my personal opinion. My personal opinion is that everybody has got a perception about your brand. Everybody. So when somebody sees the designs of AJ Wheels, they will have a perception that this guy is very good and this guy has got a really nice way of understanding how brands work. But you see, when somebody contacts AJ Wheels, the perception and the reality must match. Now, the perception is that AJ Will does a good job when it comes to what? Branding or design. Now, somebody connects to you and you do a bad job for them. Meaning that the perception and the reality does not match. Now, this is one thing that is very important in building a personal brand. And that is your perception and your reality must match. So if you say our customers comes first, if you say our customers comes first as a brand, and somebody comes to your business or your vision, and they have an issue with your product and services, and you refuse to address it, it means that your perception of saying your customers comes first and somebody having a reality with it doesn't match.
It's false.
So if your customers comes first, then you dealing with the situation for the customer to be satisfied. To be satisfied is what is going to what? Cause the perception and the reality to match. So let's look at Domino's Pizza. Yeah, Domino's Pizza back in the days, they had this that they were going to deliver pizza in 30 minutes. So if Domino's Pizza is not able to deliver the pizza in 30 minutes, it means that their perception and their reality is not matching. And these are some of the challenges they had. And because of that, it was one of their selling propositions, but because of that, they had to stop that strategy because they were having so much challenges. So that one thing that is important in building a personal brand is that the perception and the reality, they must meet.
Wow. Perception and reality must meet. Without that, that means your brand or your personal brand is false. That's so powerful, Mr. Oscar. Very, very powerful. So how does one communicate his brand?
These days, it has been very easier to communicate your brand. You see, AJ Wills, like before when there was no social media, right? So I'm living in London and I say I'm a motivational speaker. Who is going to know I'm a motivational speaker in Nigeria or Ghana? No one. So these days, communication has become very easy. Now, these are some of the communication tools or communication things that you can use to communicate your brand. One, you can use your website. Two, you can use social media platforms like the LinkedIn, the Facebooks, the Snapchats, the Instagram, the Twitter. You can use all these ones. You can communicate your brand through blog posts. You can also communicate through webinars, speaking in conferences, one-on-one with people to communicate your brand. Do you know AJ Woods? Sometimes I meet people and I tell them what I do. I should leave a footprint with what I do in their minds. And that is a form of communicating your brand.
Yes, that's true.
So these are some of the areas you can look to.
All right, sir. Thank you very much for that insight into communicating your brand to people who believe in you. So why is it important, if I may ask, to build a community on social media that believe in your brand? What makes it so important?
To do what?
To build a community on social media that believes in your brand.
Oh, that is
why is it important?
That is very, very important, my brother. That is very, very important. You need to build a community. Now, I think you have got AJ Wills GH page on Facebook. Now, the idea is you want to build a community, isn't it? So now this is how it works.
Yes.
Now this is how it works, AJ Wills. So now, if you want to build a community, so now let's say AJ Wills Media has got 1 million followers, right? That is a huge community.
Yes.
Now, with that community, what it means is that you can easily communicate your brands to them. So let's say Coca-Cola, for example, on their Facebook page, for example, I'm giving an example on top of my head. Let's say Coca-Cola has got 7 million followers on Facebook. Now, Coca-Cola launches a new brand, right? And they just post it to their 7 million followers. And that product is just $1. And out of the 7 million, 1 million people say, oh, let me go and try this product and see how it is. Just straight away, Coca-Cola has made $1 million.
Yeah, instantly. That's true.
And the reason, and what makes it so easier is that because they are following you, it means that they already like your product and services, or they love what you do already. So for you to get them to buy is very easy. And that is why it is important you build that community on social media. And that is going to help you to share what your brand stands for, to share knowledge, ability to offer your product and service to people that already believes in your brand, and ability to grow your business through referrals and positive feedbacks, and ability to generate leads when you launch your new product and services straight away. So for example, let's say Obama has got about 3 million followers on, let's say, Twitter, and Obama writes a new book, and that new book, 100,000 of his followers buys it, and it's costing maybe $10. That is $1 million in his pocket.
Straight. Wow. Communities are important, especially when they believe. So I would like to know, I would just like to believe that every community we build must believe in what we do in order to help grow the brand. That's so nice,
No,
Mr.
but
Oscar.
AJ
Thank you.
Wills. AJ Wills.
You are really throwing some bars, sir.
AJ Wills. You see, the point is that they will come, the moment they click the like button to follow you, it means that they have got some level of love. They believe in your product and services in a way that is why they come and like that page. If there is nothing at stake, trust me, they will not like it. So there is that potential that they are more likely to buy than anybody else.
That's true. Thank you so much. Thank you for the clarity. So now moving on to social media issues. Social media has been used in different ways to promote different things. And we've seen how it affects different brands in different ways. Now, does social media has a downside when it comes to your personal brand?
You see, social media has got its good side and its evil side, I would say. Because you see, they say every good thing has got its downside, and social media is no exception. So in building your brand, there is one thing I always tell, one thing I have learned over the years, and it took me time for me to understand. And I want to let everybody that is watching us to really get this and get this thing right. And that is what you post on social media. It's very critical to your success in life. So let me give you a typical example. When I started building my brand, I was also posting more political issues. So one day I posted a political issue, and one of my friends, I think he would love me to mention his name. He's called Astro, and I went to tech with him. He came into my inbox and he said, "Oscar, I beg you in the name of God, stay out of politics and concentrate on what you are doing." And we had a long chat. And when we finished, I just got to understand the guy, because he says, you are communicating mixed messages to your people. Stay on your side of motivation, or stay on the side of politics. When you combine the two, you are sending signals to people. It means that it is going to be difficult for people to really get grasp of your real identity. And I think it really got into my skin. And I can tell you, in about a year or 2 or 3, I've really minimized political posts to the minimum. Now, the only thing I post is on social issues, like what is happening in America and all those kind of things. Those ones, it's not like going to Ghana politics. Because when you do Ghana politics, if you post about PNC, somebody thinks you are with PNC. If you post about CPP, somebody thinks you are CPP. So and somebody thinks in a way hatred for you. Some tend to not, believe in your brand again. So, and I think, you see, we all learn from experiences. That is why I always tell people that if you are building a brand, you need to have the humility to listen to other people, because sometimes those sitting at the back, they see better than you. And when they see certain things and they correct you, just think deep and really make the right adjustment and move on. So I think social media has got its downside. I remember, I don't want to mention names, when COVID came, there is a pastor that came to really made a statement that your tithe and offerings is for God. So if you need money, you shouldn't come and ask him for money to buy sanitizer and all that. And this man of God had a serious backlash on social media just because of one post. It really dented
Yes.
its image. And I think these are some of the things that I think we need to be careful, AJ Wills.
Image.
That one, we are just close to, we are always close to that one post that can really turn things around for us. But we pray to God that we never fall in such a pit.
That. Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Oh wow, that's true. Because the things we post also have matters so much, because I also once had that experience where I was told to focus on what I stand for instead of having mixed posting and mixed sayings. So I think it's good to identify what you stand for and stick to it, and post only things that relate to what you want to be or what you want to be known for. So thank you so much about that. Now the next question I want to ask is, everything has a point where it fails.
Mm-hmm.
Things that like business, sometimes a business will start, a business will fail, and all those things. And people handle business in different ways. But when it comes to personal branding, how do you handle failure?
So you see, failure does not have a particular definition for a particular scenario. Failure is failure. And failure is, in my dictionary, there is only one person that fails. The only person that fails is that one person that gives up. That one person that says enough is enough. That person that says, I'm not going forward again. I'm just tired of this whole process. That person is the one that fails. But you see, the one that fails and gathers the pieces and start all over again, true. That one is not a failure. That one, I call it a setback. You will just bounce back. So we need to really define what failure is. And that is my definition of failure. Now, there is one thing I want people to understand. AG Wills, now you are running a vision called AG Wills Media, right? Now, when you fail, it is not AG Wills that have failed, sir. But it is AG Wills Media that has failed. I think this is critical, and this probably this can really bring some discussion. But you see, if your brand fails, yes, it's not you the person that have failed. It is the brand that has failed. So you the person, what you need to do is to restructure the brand and bring it back to where it belongs. But the sad aspect is that when the brand fails, some people who run the brand also categorize themselves as a failure. Give up. But that is not true. You shouldn't give up because you haven't failed. It is the brand that has failed. But you as a person, you haven't failed. You should continue to push what you are doing, continue to move forward. So I think it is something very important for us to distance ourselves from the brand and what? And yourself when it comes to failure. And until you understand that, that is going to be very critical to your success in life. You know, and let me end with this. You see, nobody in this life can dodge failure. You know, AJ Wills, if I'm traveling from Accra to Kumasi, there is no way I can dodge Ejusu. There is no way I can dodge Ejusu. No matter where I pass, I will pass through Ejusu before I get to Kumasi. Oh no, you pass through Ejusu. Yes. But you see, it's the same. It's the same with the same thing with failure. With failure, you can never miss. That is, to be successful, you can never miss failure. Failure will by all means be your Ejusu in going to Kumasi. You can't miss it. You have to fail. I have never seen anyone that has gone to the top and he said, I have never failed before. Or I've never seen anybody in life that says, I've never failed before. You see, failure is part of the success journey. I always say that failure is one of the destinations on your journey to success. You can never miss it. So until we accept that failure is part of the journey, and our aim is to manage it better and move forward, there is no way we can succeed.
Wow. Failure is part of us. We just have to manage it very well. That is so powerful, sir. Thank you so much. Now, I know that when it comes to business, there are rules and regulations that govern every institution or any business like that. So I should know that, or I should ask, are there rules that govern personal branding?
There are rules, man. For everything in life, there are rules. And rules are something that will govern whatever everyone wants to achieve in life. And without rules, everybody's going to do things anyhow that they want. They are going to do things the way they want, and it can affect the way things are done. Now, one of the rules that we have to look at is focus. You have to focus on a brand that you want to build. Focus must be a rule. There is a saying that challenges is what you see when you take your eyes off your goal. When you are driving and you start looking backwards for a long time, you can potentially get what? Get an accident. So you need to focus on your vision or your brand. Yes, you need to what?
Yes.
You need to be genuine and honest about your brand. You need to be genuine and honest about your brand. Then number 3, you need to tell a story about your personal brand. It's a rule. That is how you started the roadblocks, how you overcame them, the impact you have made, and what lies ahead. It has to be a rule. You need to have, for example, a 30 seconds video and 1 minute video, a 2 minutes video that communicates your brand. It's a rule so that in 1 minute, somebody can see what AJ Wills Media is all about.
Right.
Communication of your brand. Another rule is that you need to be consistent. Yes. Consistency is powerful. It's one of my strategic tools to succeed or to get to where I am in life. AJ Wills, I really communicate with my brand 365 days in a year. Maybe 1 or 2 days now, maybe I'll miss, but I don't even remember. Consistency. You see, one day somebody asked me this question, and the person said, Oscar, why do you post every day? Don't you think people are going to be fed up with you? I say no. I follow the experts, and I told the person to go and follow Robert Kiyosaki and come back to me in 3 months. Robert Kiyosaki posts like 3, 4, 5 times a day. And I'm like, this man is a millionaire. This man has already made his money, but he's still hungry than me, who is poor, who don't have very much. Anyway, I'm not poor anyway.
That's true.
But compared to him, there is so much. But this man...
Yeah, big man.
But what I'm trying to say is that between me and this man has achieved a lot that you were expecting that he should relax. But this man is so much passionate about what he does. Yes. And it's the same thing with the Les Browns, the Anthony Robbins, the John Maxwell's, the Bob Proctors. If you follow them, all of them, they post every day. So why is it that you are now starting? You want to post today, and the next day you go to sleep. That means that you are not ready.
At all.
Then the last but one is be ready. Wow. The last but one is to be ready to fail. We have talked about failure already, but be ready to fail so that it doesn't become a shock when you fail. If you know it already, that it is potential for you to fail, when it happens, you are not going to be surprised. It's like driving. whenever you move your car, you have to understand that you can go and meet traffic. So when you meet traffic, you don't get a shock because traffic is part of driving. Then the last one is you have to leave your brand. Leave your brand means that every day people should see your brand in you. They should see your brand from your heart, brand from your speaking, brand from your shirt, brand from your communication. You must leave your brand every day. And I think these are about the 5 rules that I believe personally governs personal branding.
Wow. Thank you so much for shedding more light on the rules that govern personal branding, because I think everyone needs to know these rules so that they can also perfect and build a brand around the rules so that they can also make it. Now, I want to know on this question, the next question is, there are unique features when it comes to every business or every brand, and what are some of the unique features that can help a personal brand stand out from the rest?
Yes, I think this is also very, very important question. And I think a lot of people really underestimate that uniqueness of that brand. And I think one of the things that is really, really significant when it comes to the unique features of your brand, one should be your colors. Your colors should stand out. And when somebody sees your color, it should just communicate your brand to them. So when you look at everything about Oscar Bimpong, from Train2inspire Consultancy, to T2i TV, to Step Out with Oscar Bimpong, and everything about the brand, our colors is red and blue. And this color really runs through every brand that we are building.
Yes.
All the different logos that we have on our website, on our YouTube page, Facebook, LinkedIn, we are communicating the same brand, because consistency of your colors really, it creates an image of your brand in the minds of people. And sometimes people just see the color, and because of that, it comes into mind. And because of that, now, even when I put something on my profile, which is a quote on Facebook, you see the background colors that you use. Now I always use the red one.
Yes. Yes.
So the red one is, so now it will get to a time people just see the red one and it will just come out from their subconscious that this is an Oscar Bimpong brand. Then also your logo should be distinct. It should stand out. When you see an Apple, nobody tells you that this is the logo of Apple. If you see Samsung logo, nobody should, even AG Rules logo, if you see it, it just stands out. Your logo must stand out. It must be a unique feature of your personal brand.
Yes.
And also your product and personal branding must also communicate what? Your brand. Now, there is this restaurant that they do deliveries in Accra. I think I'm forgetting the name. And their branding in terms of the boxes that they put the food in, and man, it's so amazing. And this is how now, you know, food even branding is taken to the next level. And it communicates. You see, there is one thing, AJ, you need to understand, that people buy you before they buy the product. Somebody can write this thing down. People buy you before they buy the product.
Yes.
So if they see the unique features, how you present yourself, how your branding is done. You know, some people, they buy the branding of the food before they even taste the food itself. Some people buy because of what they see in terms of the branding.
See. Yes, yes.
And let me ask you this. let me ask you this, yeah? I don't know, but you see, when you buy an apple, when you buy an Apple phone,
yes.
an iPhone, yeah, you buy an iPhone. I can bet you many of the people, they don't throw the box away because of the branding.
Yes. Oh yes, oh yes. Everybody keeps their box. Everybody keeps them. Not even only iPhone, but anyone that buys a phone always keeps the box.
Because of the branding. So there's certain unique features attracts people to your brand. And I think understanding this is going to help your business to succeed, you know.
Yes, boss. Yes, boss. Wow. You've said so much there. Wow. I don't even know what to say anymore because you've practically you've answered every question that I even want to ask already. So okay, so the next question is more of how do we every brand has a way that it goes, how the person visions to grow the brand, or how what the person wants to do with the brand and all that. So my question now is, what is that one thing that gradually leads to death of the personal brand? Because what will make my brand die totally?
And I think I'm not going to waste time on this, but I think this is my personal opinion as well. That one thing that gradually leads to the death of your personal brand or the brand that you are building in our generation is innovation. You know, you know, Nokia died because of innovation. When you look at BlackBerry, BlackBerry died because its innovation took its culture out of it.
Yeah.
You know, the culture I mean is that one of the reasons though that, you know, when you look at the BlackBerry Messenger, it's about people typing with the keypads that really help. That's what they love. So when they change the keypads to something digital, it lost its appeal and the whole factors came into play. The competition was tight and everything, and they had to die. Now, innovation is very key. You see, if you run from innovation, then you are giving your competitors an advantage to kill you. They will cause you to bleed to death.
That's powerful.
So innovation is very critical. And innovation is not only for today. Innovation is a continuous process. You have to be innovating on a consistent basis, strategically, as and when it matters. You must always innovate. Now, let me give you a typical example of a company in Ghana that I admire so much. And that company is called ZPay. ZPay does remittances to mobile money wallets. Now, this is a serious innovation. Because you see, when I'm in London and I send to Ghana, before I have to pass it through the banks and other traditional banks and all those kind of stuff, and sometimes, or agents, and sometimes it delays. Now I can be in my comfort of my home and send money onto AJ's mobile wallet, and AJ will just have a ping on his phone and he has received his money. This is innovation. And until you innovate and stay innovated, there is no way you can succeed in a marketplace. So innovation is very key. Now, the second point I want to really make as well is that when people find out that you are not who you say you are, you can die as well as a brand. So you say something else and you do something different. When people get to know it, it means you are digging your own grave that over time you are going to die. Because you see, what you are exposing yourself to is that you are causing people not to believe in you and your products and services. And the moment people start believing that, then it means that you are on the road to die. You are on the road for people to start giving negative feedback about your business to other people. And that is not what you want. What you want is for people to send positive back about your business to others. So it is very important that you stand by what you say. If what you say you are not able to really deliver at the time, your best bet is to what? Communicate effectively with the people that you are really serving. And I believe that is the only way you can stay relevant in the market, and that is the only way you can avoid death or being hated by your competitors. And the last one is lack of honesty kills any brand faster than a bullet. And I'm going to repeat that. Your lack of honesty kills any brand faster than a bullet. And this quote is by Oscar Bimpong.
Powerful quote. Oh, any brand. Wow. That lacks honesty. It kills itself faster than a bullet. Wow. I'll come for that quote. So once again, I would like to say thank you so much for your time and having us have this discussion that has been so insightful, that I've learned a lot. I'm sure everyone who has done the watching has really picked up one or two things that can help them grow and perfect their brand. We all need this brand so that we can also gain the mileage that we want to.